Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, the 15th of January, and I'm calling this one Strong Friday. It's all about strength. It's like mental strength. And thanks to my lovely Irish friend Barbara for suggesting this topic. It seems that my Irish friends are ahead of the game when suggesting topics, but of course, us Irish and Scots folk have creative brains. Well, that's just get everybody going. English, Welsh, Scots, whoever. Australia, New Zealand, USA, start giving me titles so that I give different things to talk about in my videos. But I love getting the information. Of course, Barbara, and if you suggest a title and I use it, then you get an hour call with me, and I'm more than happy to do this. Look forward to that. Of course, as I said before, it'll probably more than an hour, because between us Irish and Scots individuals, we could probably talk for hours. So for the topic today, strength, I've called it Strong Friday. But no matter what the challenges of life are, you need to remain mentally strong. It's not talking about building up your muscles. I mean, there'll be people who will be physically exercising. That's fabulous. But we're talking about mental strength. You're not alone in feeling anxious, scared, overwhelmed by everything just now, and it just seems to be continuing. But what helps is maintaining mental strength, mental health. Life has changed unimaginably, and our lives, most of what we do, have been disrupted. It's affecting everybody. But remember, as I've said before, we may all be in the same storm, but we're in very different boats. And of course, remember that even in the boats, every individual is experiencing these times in a different way. Those who are coping best have mental strength and agility. It's mental kind of flexibility and resilience. So what do these people that keep and maintain and keep hope and manage to have strong positive minds, what do they do? Well, here are some tips. And of course, a lot is repetitive, but that's what the tips are all about. They're easy, hopefully easy to remember, easy to turn into your good habits, that you have them. I call my Mind Circles tips like a friend on the shoulder, and it's just a reminder. That's why I designed the ABC. Easy to use, but they're there. And so the first thing is, don't keep watching or listening to the negative news. Yes, by all means stay informed, but really you'll drive yourself to depression and anxiety and stress. I can find that when I call in and I listen to the news, it's just all negative. Whether it's about the pandemic and the vaccines, and sometimes we seem to have good news is brought to us, so the hope is raised, and then suddenly that's kind of, we're brought to our knees again by saying, well, there's this vaccine, there's 5, and there's people saying, oh, well, we shouldn't have it, we should have it. So much confusion. You need to find a credible source and limit the time that you're listening to the negative news. Limit the time that you're on social media, particularly negative posts. The ones I like best are seeing people posting funny posts. Animals, I just love to see animals. Of course, I'm very fond of doggies, so I like seeing they give unconditional love. But there's also art. I love seeing the pictures of art, the pictures of nature, all the birds and the animals. I post up, I love lions, the strength of the lion, elephants, lots of things. And there's wildlife photographers who put up amazing pictures. And I see people are coming on. Thank you very much for watching. There's Debbie and Lynn and Dadu. Wait a minute, we'll just do the wave. I'm not sure what all these things mean. I think it means I bring you on to the picture or something. Anyway. And of course, Billy, I see Billy's on. I love his posts of the stories. He has clients, and of course he's always telling stories. It's unbelievably funny. So you need to find something that lifts your spirits. Try not to write, of course, negative posts. We really don't want to hear. If I can feel down, I'm human. And I have bad days, sometimes 2 or 3 bad days. But I would never think of putting that up on social media. I might say, look, I've had a few bad days, but do you know what? And then I try and turn it into something positive. Another tip is to take care of yourself. Remember that it's not selfish. If you don't take care of yourself, then you can't take care of anyone else. So you need to try and eat as healthily as possible and be grateful that you can do that, because there are many who might not have food to put on the table. Get enough sleep. Again, be grateful if you've got a roof over your head and warmth, because there's lots of people might not have that. So being grateful is really something that you should have a gratitude list. Exercise, but remember to socially distance. And walk. Just walk in nature if you can, even if it's raining. I mean, it can be dreich up here in Scotland, in Glasgow, and it's not so bad today, but the rain, you think, oh, I'm not going to go out. But actually, just getting out is just taking it away from the confines of four walls. Try to feel more in control of your life in these challenging times. So what I would do is try and set up, particularly if you're overwhelmed or tired or anxious and stressed, try and set up a schedule for the day, because it's very easy, and I've done it myself. You're feeling sort of depressed and you think, do you know what, I really don't want to get up. And that's okay. A day in bed, you need to recharge your batteries. But if that goes on too long, you're experiencing, now you're going into sort of depression. So try and set up a schedule for the day. If you've got children at home, it's probably driving you mad, homeschooling, then they'll have a schedule they'll be working to. But one of the things is, don't over stress about work. You don't want your children in years to come remembering of these awful times. You maybe want to try and think of some fun things to do. Now, I talked in a previous live video about some of the activities you can get people joining in, and I love when people post up with, I can't cope with the maths, I can't cope with the history and all the English grammar, we're going to do home economics and bake some cookies. Now that's still teaching the children. So there's life skills, and you want to try and get them involved in life skills. What a better time, because I mean, before this, I know I've worked with students and I've lectured, and people think, oh, I've got a degree and I know everything. But a lot of them might know their subject and they still don't maybe have common sense, don't have life skills. So it's, do they iron, do they cook, do they clean, do they know, so all these things. Of course, the best stress reduction technique, and I know I keep plugging this, but it is psychologically proven. And can we guess what it is? I'll bring Georgie on there, thank you. It's breathe. Breathing, it's my B. Let's just take a moment just now to breathe. Now, it's the effective breathing, remember, from the diaphragm, the lower tummy. So you need to, as you're breathing in, your tummy should go out. So it's like, as you breathe in, it's as if you're blowing up a balloon. So your tummy should go out, area should go out. So let's just, one breath just now, just, you can close your eyes. I quite like closing my eyes when I do this. So take a deep breath in through the nose to the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And then exhale slowly through the mouth to the count of 1, 2, 3. Now, it seems sometimes it's when you do this, it seems as if you've been out for ages, but that's just sort of, it's like 3 seconds, 5 seconds. That really does help. So when you do that, you're calming, you're reducing your anxiety, but you're also energizing yourself, and you're actually increasing your lung capacity, which is extremely important. I'll bring Sarah on too. So why wouldn't you not want to do that? So the deep breathing, please try that. Now, the other thing is, I'm very fond of using our senses. I mean, one of my studies was looking at the psychological and biochemical effects of aroma on the brain, and that was dealing with the sense of smell. But actually, if you do this exercise, now take a moment to, not maybe just now, but you can think about this, take a moment to use your 5 senses. Now, what you can do is take 4 things. Well, no, we'll start with C. Maybe 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. And that's using all your senses. And you could get the children, you get other people involved in that. It's a fabulous exercise, and it's a creative exercise. And what does creativity do? It builds resilience. Right, now this is going to be a bit counterintuitive here. But another tip is, if you're someone who worries constantly, and there are people there, it's constant worry, 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 then you need to try this exercise. Now, I know this is going to sound crazy, but schedule some time for worrying, okay? Rather than worrying all day, every day, think of your worry time as, you can do it daily even, doesn't matter, but 5-10 minutes. And that's your worry time. And you can sort of some people might look forward to it. Oh, I've got my worry time. But only worry during these minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, that's all. Now, you need to obviously at this point, know you've got your journal there beside you. So write down what you're thinking, what you're worrying about, and why you're worrying about these things. Now, if you find yourself worrying out at other times of the day, outside your 10 or 15 minutes, you need to say to yourself, this is not my worry time. So when you use this exercise and you only worry in your worry time, you will find it reduces stress and anxiety. And you'll find yourself focusing more on every task you do. And that's bringing in my FA, not the horrible F word, but full attention. So you don't want some attention. You've got a choice between having FA or SA. Your FA is full attention, and you should actually be giving full attention to everything you do, even the smallest task. And it's kind of mindfulness. So even brushing your teeth, that's what you should be concentrating on. Eating your food, that's what you should be concentrating on. It's quite difficult to do actually, because I know our minds race all the time. But try that, the worry exercise, and write down, and you can reflect back later, but give yourself this short time to do that. Keeping connected, of course, to family and friends. Use social media, of course, for that, the telephone, and of course smile when you're talking on the phone or on online calls. It's very important, I think, perhaps particularly for older friends who maybe are isolated and they're not seeing people. I know it's difficult because I have an 85-year-old just now who's also got another friend in a care home, and they seem to be under such pressure that she tries to phone at a certain time, but actually the lady doesn't have a mobile phone beside her, so they've got to go and try and find her, bring her to the phone. I know these things can be difficult, but if you can manage it, it can be done. Keep things in perspective, that's another tip, and that's walking in nature. Now you can use your creative imagination, and we'll be doing one later, meditation on that. You can keep the big picture in mind, also because you know that these challenging times won't go on forever. But we don't know what's round the corner, so try and focus on the now and stop all this what ifs. Remember to use the coping strategies, and that's my ABC, and using my journal. Now, I'm really excited to say that this is my 3rd book this year. It's been published. It's called Changing Seasons of Life. And we're going to have a virtual book signing, and it's along with my very talented young friend, Danielle McGregor. And because this book includes her poems as well. And we're going to have this, it's a virtual event. I think we're setting up through maybe Eventbrite, and it's going to be on Friday the 29th of January. And the two of us will be talking about, maybe give a wee sample from the book, but it's a creative journal. And so it's got pages where you can write your doodle, dawdle, whatever you want to do, paint, draw, or write your own poetry and prose. My prose, my short stories are personal experiences of my life, but they're very, very abstract. And that's to push your creativity, your creative minds, get the creative juices flowing. Put the date in your diary now, 29th of January, 7 o'clock, but I'll be posting up when. I think it'll be an Eventbrite. I think I've got to sort of sort that out, but I'll be putting the link up. Remember again, you have a choice about how you respond to a crisis, and staying mentally strong during these times or any time of crisis is absolutely key to getting through them. You can gain and maintain mental strength by exercising your mental and emotional mind, and that's by using my ABC. They are proven psychological techniques, and you'll improve your mental well-being. Remember, you've probably got more mental strength than you would think you have, so just build on that. This isn't a time to kind of start, I've got to start being strong. You've probably already got it within you, so you've now got to bring that out. And all my videos have talked about how creativity can help with this. It's also important to accept reality. When we're faced with any news of any kind, and particularly bad news, it's only human nature to think, oh, why me? Why do these things happen? Why has this happened to me? But you're actually wasting vital energy on that, worrying. I mean, accepting the situation does not mean you're agreeing with what's happened, but accepting means that you're acknowledging the reality of it. And when you do this, you actually move forward much more positively. And as you all know, I lost my son. It was so tragic. It was suicide. But, you know, much as obviously I'd love him back, but that can't happen. I need to accept that it happened, accept the situation, and you can then find resilience and courage to endure each day in a different way. But take small steps, break any big tasks or big things you want to do, break them down into smaller steps. Don't take on too much just because you think, well, I've got time now. That's not the answer, because if you take on too much, you'll overwhelm yourself. So you might want to go back to my live video when I talked about learning to say no. That's a biggie for me. I've always found it difficult to say no, and it's okay to help people, but you really need to start, as I said earlier, look after yourself. And saying no is a big start. And you actually shouldn't, or you don't need to say, oh no, I can't help because. You really don't need to give a reason. You should be able to say no. But I think out of kindness and things, you don't want to hurt people, but you can then, perhaps add a reason why you can't help at that moment in time. Of course, when I say positive, I don't mean that in positive action, we can't be positive all the time. That's impossible. You need to have time to experience your emotions, and you don't want to suppress your emotions forever, because when you do that, you'll just lead yourself into really your mental health will decrease. You will have mental ill health. So by having a good cry, we call it a good greet here in Glasgow or in Scotland, by having a good cry or a greet is really good for you. And it helps you to move forward. And of course, you don't let fear take over. Don't let fear hold you back, because that just prevents you from taking action. It's a difficult, very difficult time for adults with children or elderly family, because you're probably being calm. Because when you've got children around you, or maybe an elderly relative, I can hardly speak that, try that as a tongue twister, elderly relative, they might be very anxious, so you're remaining calm and strong in front of them. So you need to take time, you need to make sure that you set aside time for you to experience your own emotions and painful feelings. It's an important part of healing emotional wounds. Now, finally, a tip for mental strength is to do one thing that gives you a sense of normality. So, what can that be? Watch your favourite film. Go for a walk. Order a pizza for Friday night meal. Whatever you used to do before the pandemic or in any challenging times, do it now. And then you can continue that after this challenging time is over. If you use these tips then, because there'll be more challenges in life, but if you use these tips, you'll know like how to cope better. Of course, if everything is getting too overwhelming, then really seek support, seek professional help. But one of the things, if you don't quite need that extent, share, talk to friends, trusted friends, because I do believe and I know that sharing is caring and helps healing. So, for mental strength today, we now do my affirmations, my ABC, and the first one, A, is affirmation. Now, try and create your own affirmation. A longer one for strength might be, I've been through tough times, I can do it again. And just repeat that and repeat that. Or you can say a simpler one, I feel strong, I am strong, I let go of negative thoughts. And it's like a mantra. So if you keep doing that, as soon as any negative self-talk or anything comes into your mind, turn it around with your own mantra, your own affirmation. And of course, B, breathing. And earlier we did a breathing exercise. And today, C is for creative imagery. Now it's the same as visualization. I just call it creative imagery because ABV doesn't sound very good. So ABC, and it's good to remember. So from little acorns, big oak trees grow. So the meditation today is about the oak tree, and it helps clear negative thoughts, turns them into positive ones. It helps you to be confident, to build self-esteem and feel strong. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but this happens, and I think if you do it yourself, it happens when you actually start to say, I am positive. You almost raise your posture, almost raise your, your backbone. And I suppose people say if you've got backbone, then you're confident and you're brave and you're courageous. So we'll do the meditation now. And as always, of course, feet on the ground, sit comfortably, but with your back straight. So you've got some kind of sense of self and confidence. So if you close your eyes now, and you can do this exercise together, and you can do it afterwards as well. But I want you now to close your eyes. Now you can take a deep breath in through the nose slowly. Hold, and then exhale slowly. Now imagine yourself in the countryside. You're walking across a lovely meadow. The air around you is so pure. In the distance, there is a large, solid tree. The strong branches are stretching out. Some are swaying in the light breeze. Sit down on the grass. You hear the rustling of the leaves. Rest your body against the trunk of the tree. Rest your body and mind. Feel the strength of the solid tree. Feel its energy flowing through your body. Breathe in its strength. Rest for a while against its solid tree. Take a breath in through your nose. Hold, and then exhale through your mouth. take another deep breath in through your nose and feel the energy of the tree flowing into your mind and body. You feel its strength. Breathe in again and hold your breath, and then exhale slowly. As you exhale, breathe in again. As you exhale, let go of negative thoughts. Just feel the strength and the energy of the tree. Now you can open your eyes and say, I am confident, I have confidence, I feel confident, I am strong. And use your own affirmation if you want. And then of course just relax and yawn and stretch your arms or whatever you want to do. But that meditation, any of the meditations, it's using your creativity and it's building resilience. And with resilience and courage, you can endure every day in a different, more positive way. And of course, keep smiling and laughing. And until Monday, remember, laughter is the best medicine, and smiling is there. It costs you nothing to smile, costs you nothing to laugh. Until Monday, which is going to be about motivation and self-motivation, title courtesy of Alison. Thank you very much. And she gets an hour call with me. So if you've got any other titles you want, please either post them on Facebook or private message me. And if I use one of your titles, then you get an hour of chat with me, mentoring, coaching, whatever you want to call it. There's no agenda, all confidential. So until then, virtual hugs and have a great mentally strong day and weekend. And thanks for watching. Virtual hugs. Bye.